And if it does 0 damage, the effect is still there. And this kind of puts Alliance in a position where if they want to get to this Clinks in the fight, they need to get through this Tombstone that will be there, and they need to get through the burst heal that Undying also offers for Clinks. So pretty cool. I guess Clinks in theory also could spawn some more units. Do the Burning Army count towards Soul Rift? Do you know?
I don't actually know. I would assume they would though.
They might count to Soul Rift.
Yeah, but
it should be a nice little extra thing. It's not the primary point here by any means, but if they do count, that helps.
The main question I have right now is like this early Undying pick. Do you think it could be just the 5, or do you think they have the flexibility to maybe put into the offlane role? Like we saw Enigma with mind control run
5, 4, or 3. I think all are good here.
I'd agree.
I would, if it is Omni Sven, they're going to put Undying against it, but he can still be a 5 playing in the offlane
for sure. Yeah,
as support down there, and then they get a 4 to lane with Clinks.
They're so happy right now. Look at them.
They are having so much fun.
This is offlane Undying vibes right now. You know, like you don't have this much fun over a 5 Undying pick.
Undying.
Ooh.
Nah.
But Undying, is there actually potential for it to be played core? Because it's always been a 5.
100%.
I think 3 Undying can be legit in the right game. Absolutely.
I actually think it is. Look at the bans, for example, right? Like Beastmaster, again, you're respecting Alliance there, but like Alina to kill Tombstone, and then like the elusiveness of a puck. Like maybe I'm just generalizing here to make my point sound cool, but it does feel like it's somewhat covering what at least a core Undying would not want to play into.
You could read into it for sure.
But yeah, so with the Sven pick from Alliance, if you want to be a little bit creative here on Alliance's side, you could identify, okay, maybe this will become a difficult Sven game, and since we're second pick, we get to close phases out. I don't think PL is out of the question here. He is really good against these 2 heroes LGD are bringing to the table right now. You could flex the Sven onto a position 4, you could flex him onto a 3, just because if PL ends up, like in LGD's minds right now, they probably place this Sven as a carry, right? It's Omni Sven. Every team runs this the same way. But if you get to that stage in the draft and LGD have picked 4 heroes and PL is good against all of them, I honestly wouldn't mind seeing Alliance just completely switching it up like that. I don't think Sven is so pigeonholed as a hero that he can literally only play 1 role. We've seen in the past Svens go offlane and buy auras in the right game when it's necessary. So I have like half an eye on PL right now. We'll see.
They do need to pick up like that. Okay, they go for a Phoenix. Okay.
It's another hero that doesn't break the Tombstone at all. So, I guess Clinks, now that Clinks doesn't have Strafe, he doesn't kill the egg anymore.
No, exactly. So it's a counter-aggressive play, right? Like the previous game, they did hold their triangle really well. They punished PSG in the first 15-16 minutes of the game. It was the point in which that one smoke kind of broke them. And Phoenix does allow that. I think my concern is like, when Clinks wants to run away, he's just going to run away, right? Like, it's Sven v the world right now. Like, they do need to start adding some extra lockdown. Otherwise, this will be just a casual Tombstone no one can kill. Clinks running in and out of poking around the fight, getting the Scardy, loving life. But for sure, Clinks isn't as great against Phoenix anymore, so
at the very least,
an egg counter.
Get some slow, right? So that Sven can get on top of his target. That seems like something that would be a necessity here.
As far as Tombstone hitters and egg hitters go, with Lina banned out, which other traditional ones are still in? I was going to go for, is Mirana an option? We have really not seen it in this tournament. If the Undying offlane, that you like it, see an Undying Mirana lane.
Mirana's decent, especially knowing that it's in queue. I think that's definitely a possibility. What else is there with good attack speed against the egg at this point from a supporting role? Okay, they're going to grab the Void support first. Okay, so there's one. Snapfire.
Snapfire,
for sure.
Okay,
So Snap Void, they get the Little Shredder against the egg. They get the Chrono plus Mortimer Kisses combination, and they have obviously the Chrono into Clinks' Burning Barrage also.
Wait, this means it is not
a good Chrono, right? Just kills here. Like seriously, it's
this is
stupid damage.
This is Snap 4, right? Undying offlane.
It could also be Snap Mid.
It could.
True.
There's options still here for LGD, and the reason I like keeping the option of Snap Mid open here is that fast levels on Snap is really good against Omni Knight. Like you want something, you want to make the enemy not feel safe when they have GA running or when they have it available, and one way to do that is to put the Snap Mid. You could also just get a different mid that has even more of that type of damage. And
I think like now going to game 2 and like seeing how game 1 was played, like I'm a bit concerned for Alliance because like they're kind of going for the same theme with their draft, right? It's this like ultra defensive style of like we farm our map, we get our items, they run us, we counter initiate, we'll win the fight. And the early damage, like when we think of that 20-minute fight again, it's going to be an Ats call into an egg, Sven maybe killing a support or something. But then when you have these heroes in PSG, they want to take fights throughout the entire game. So I think Alliance, they really need to try and find that mid hero that can at least break down the game and just, you know, go 4-5-0 and then allow like the game to feel uncomfortable, because without that like X factor from mid lane, I'm worried PSG is going to repeat from the previous game.
I'm wondering if LGD are laughing so hard because they're like, what's the 5th strength hero you guys can pick in Undying? They have triple melee strength against Undying. I'm really concerned with that. I think no matter what lane Undying goes to, he's going to be a boss.
It continuously increases the chance at its core, right? Because the better it is against those heroes, the higher in priority they want to put it.
They're so jolly right now.
I kind of can't believe that they first picked Undying and first phase. That was a little bit difficult to say for some reason. They first phased Undying and he gets this game. Like, this looks incredible to me. Because it's not only about the decay and the tombstone, it's also Soul Rip is really good against Axe. Axe is going to blink call someone. You have this burst heal save so they don't get in Calling Blade range.
No one kills Tombstone here.
And no one kills Tombstone at all.
But they have overall last pick on Alliance. They could still go for some gotcha pick. Now your whole draft falls apart.
They really need to solve. I'm not sold. Like,
right
they
now,
need to solve some problems.
Solve the puzzle.
Like right now, the gotcha pick is some like co-op style of like killer, which, you know, executes Clinks a lot, maybe kills Void, but it doesn't make you feel comfortable when you know, join the rest of the team. Because if PSG group up, this one mid hero, this one gotcha pick, it's going to be, you know, him v the world right now. And that's why you see PSG banning up DP and Invoker. Look at that.
I am worried that they can even keep a straight face once the game starts. I mean, at this point.
Oh, this is...
So for LGD, from their perspective, there's a couple of things that would be cool for their draft. I think having a targeted stun to set up both Clinks and the Snapfire would be really strong. It doesn't feel good to fully rely on the Void to land the Chronos every time. It's also a long cooldown spell. So I could see either a short duration stun, or especially something that makes Undying want to go and hit towers, right, with Tombstone. I think Dragon Knight is a possibility. The Phoenix matchup is a bit annoying, but outside of that, could be solid. Hits in Chrono with Dragon Form, gives them a single target stun for Clinks, gives them tower pushing potential. Pugna could also be a thing.
Something annoying, you know, some Viper, some DK, some...
Oh, Viper doesn't sound bad either. That's really good here, actually.
Just a hero that just exists, you know? Like, you don't need to hit towers specifically, but just soak up the... any hero that can buy a BKB as like a first item or second item and just walk with the team and be like, come on guys, play around me, let me hit that Chrono, let me hit that big Mortimer Kisses and unlock that Tombstone to get to its full potential.
Yeah. I like all of these options. I think Razor, Viper, Dragon Knight all sound good to me.
Even like is Doom still available?
Alright, that's why we're grabbing Ursa.
Another one that hits the egg, even though you don't really want to use, but charge for that.
Is he mid? Is Xiaowei playing mid Ursa? I mean, it is also a really good Ursa game. Like you said, it hits egg, it can beat Axe in lane, it can beat Sven in the game.
It can still be a mid Snapfire with Undying support.
Xiaowei realized how easy the Clinks was.
I can do that.
He was like, boys, stack me the Ancients, I can do this.
I think most likely at this point, snap mid, support Undying and Void. So the Ursa is probably position 3.
Choose your hero.
For Faith Beyond, and then they play Undying in lane with that, and then they just try to absolutely dominate that lane. No, it's Xiaowei mid Ursa.
Yes, the offlane, not yes.
It is off lane Undying, and position 4 snap, and 5 Void. As expected, the Void is 5.
The mid Ursa against Pugna though. That's
a spicy lane. I feel like Pugna is very favored in this one.
He's just gonna decrep every single time Ursa wants to go for a creep. He might have to then jump to get it, but. Yeah, I'm excited.
But then you take damage.
Exactly, yeah. I'm excited to see how Ursa Pugna goes. I'm sure Pugna should be dumpstering, and of course Limp is a god at mid lane, so that should go pretty well for Alliance. But I think fundamentally, the rest of their lineup is based around time, and PSG did not give Alliance any time, so Alliance have to kind of clean up their act and make sure they don't fall victim to that one clean smoke gank that they kind of did get hit by in that previous game.
Decrepify is a very good spell this game, though. It's against Ursa and Clinks. Could be a thing.
Very bad against the Snapfire, though.
It's only the Snap ult that you need to worry about. So, well, I guess there's also the Soul Rip. But
is the puzzle solved?
I'm personally still not feeling it. I like the last pick from Alliance, but I just felt like from a second pick perspective, I don't think they built enough advantage during the draft. Didn't really take advantage of the first phase Undying, in my opinion. They just made him look better and better with every pick. So I like LGD.
All right, well, let's see how this game 2 is going to play itself out. We're heading over to our commentary duo of Kyle and Moxie.
Well, I know T is very, very excited because I just saw him
do a cookie hop when he saw that was an off-lane Undying. But as per usual, PSG LGD doing some different things with their draft. And, you know, tell me your expert opinion on this.
Well, definitely different. The one constant I think we're going to see here is that Zhao Wei's going to get absolutely bodied in the mid lane. But
Poor Zhao.
I would agree. I think that Sin made a cool point about how you expect more of an edge from the team that has second pick. And you look at this lineup, you think, wow, this is a really good Undying game. This is pretty good for Clinks. It's not what you would have hoped to see from Alliance, but I think if there's somebody to watch, it'll be Limp. Pugna is deceptive. People don't really see it as like this game-winning hero, but like remember Thompson, you know, TI8, like this hero can just straight up win games. And I think that we might see this out of Limp. He's gonna have like a completely free lane. Meanwhile, Nico Baby on Sven, I think, will be able to keep up the Clinks. Plus, the Warcry, very effective against the mass physical damage it puts out. I think more effective than Dusa in this matchup.
30 seconds.
How concerned are we with the fact that there are quite a few strength heroes that FateBeyond's going to be able to hit with the decay?
That is the million-dollar question.
You're going to sing that for a moment.
I would, but I'm still not quite confident enough to do so in front of the stream. But
This is looking like a dead Y. FNG, nice out forward though, coming out from Secure. They'll keep turn this back around. FNG running for his life. Zhao would love to start off his lane with a kill, but he does have a salve. Looking forward, do manage to get Decay off. Why he's just gonna stay off to the side. Zhao, he's chasing a long time here after FNG. It's just still going after him here. It's a very slow pursuit, but at this point, he's very much just has to commit to it. And FNG breaking the ankles, praising the omniscience as he makes it out of there and teleports on out.
That is very nice. Like, even gives Limp a little bit of an edge mid now, as he will deny a creep and get a free last hit.
And he already was going to be winning this lane. We've already discussed it, so it's a bit of a disaster here for Zhao. After chasing so long, not even managing to get the kill and missing out on some of that experience.
Yeah, it's not ideal. Top is the lane that I think will be fun to watch, because Undying core against double melee strength heroes, you gotta figure Undying has the lead. I don't know how good this is. I've never seen core Undying, but I did see a Reddit video of Undying soloing Roshan. So I'm gonna say that this is very good.
Reddit is never wrong, so I think that's a pretty safe assumption right there. But no, I've heard quite a few people saying that they really like the idea of the Undying in the offlane. I know Purge also is a big fan. That was, you know, a couple patches ago, but especially in this particular setup, when you have these strength heroes, when you can get things like a double decay or whatnot, you're feeling pretty damn strong. My concern is just how does this translate later on?
End of the day, well, the thing is, you actually can push creep waves now, which is the really nice thing after the level 10 talent change, because you get the decay damage, and I believe it's 2 decays, clears the creep wave. So you can actually farm. It's a 4-second CD, it's not so bad. Previously, again, similar to the problem with Clinks, you just couldn't ever clear waves, so Core Undying has a little more viability, but I actually like what Alliance did. It's not like a counter to the Undying, but it's more of a conceptual thing where, yeah, you can't kill Tombstone super well, but you drop your own Tombstone-esque structures, the egg, the nether ward, and make it unpleasant for PSG LGD to fight around.
Makes sense. FateBeyond though, gonna get another decay off, and just like that, kills himself an Omni Knight.
Well,
that escalated quickly.
Indeed.